Talking about doing things differently, laughter may be the best medicine, but comedians haven't been able to dispense it at comedy clubs because of lockdown. So many have turned to social media. Some are creating shows specifically for a virtual audience, while local comedian Tyson Ngubeni has gone a step further. He's finally set one of his characters, Bob O'Connor, loose on social media. Unlike me, Bob O'Connor is an over-the-top American newscaster. Let's take a look.
What you're looking at is not a wall. It's a stop nonsense. A South African engineering phenomenon which dates back millennia. See, it turns out that on the other side of this structure is nonsense. A burglar? Nonsense. Your neighbor's snot-nosed kid throwing a ball over the wall. That's nonsense too. And it's kept out by this here. You see, it's made out of anti-nonsense compounds found only in the southern parts of Africa. A certain American politician wanted to build one of these along the southern border, but South Africa said no. Back to you in studio, Simon.
The name's Marcel, not Simon. That's Tyson Ngubeni with one of his first videos that really went viral a few weeks ago. And Tyson joins us now from his home in Soweto. Tyson, who is Bob O'Connor? Where did he come from?
Well, Marcel, Bob O'Connor is from Madison in Wisconsin. Yeah, I know I'm talking in the third person now. But I was born in Wisconsin. I wanted to get into the intelligence services. I joined the CIA, spent 16 years in Thailand. Then I switched over to media. Now I'm a reporter, reporting live from South Africa. I've been stationed here for about 4 years now.
Now, if I can speak to Tyson for a second, I'm told that that's a video that you made some time ago, and you actually you released it because your church group on WhatsApp was looking for some entertainment. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they were looking for some entertainment. They were thinking, hey, let's have like a live stand-up comedy, show. And then I just figured, I have my strongest suit is actually making skits. So that the first skit which went out had been recorded about a week before for the church group. But then when I just had it on my phone and I wanted to redo it with like better quality. But then I just figured, just put it out there, just, for my friends on Instagram. And then, yeah, the response just kind of spiraled from there.
Now, you mentioned there that you wanted to re-record it and do it in a better quality. I've been speaking to various people in the creative space, especially during lockdown, and many of them have said the one big thing that they've learned is that overthinking and wanting to do things perfectly, getting fancy cameras and things that cost a lot of money to make it just right. That's really something that they've had to throw out the window because they've realized that if the content is relevant, it doesn't matter how fancy it is, it will hit home and find an audience.
That is actually the exact first lesson that hit home for me when people responded the way that they did, was that I suppose, if it connects with people, that's the most important thing. And sometimes as creatives or even professionals, that's pushing for perfection ends up being like a hindrance to something possibly even greater that you could be doing or could be producing. So I absolutely agree, yeah.
And now those in the comedy space have, for a long time, been telling me about this Tyson guy that people need to look out for because he's the next big thing. You're not new to the business. You had a spot in the Showmax series, Funny People Africa, and now a whole new audience is experiencing you or coming across your work, discovering you on social media. What have you taken from this time and this viral interest in you? And where do you think this is going to lead to post-lockdown?
I think the surge in interest was both kind of surprising, and in that first week it was a little bit like daunting. What I kind of tried to do was to just sort of calm down a bit, like focus on keeping things like very, very simple and not necessarily playing to the gallery, if I can put it that way. So the interest and the support and the encouragement has been supremely positive, and I think post-lockdown, the conversations that I'm already having now, there's possibilities to kind of work with a wider range of creatives and possibly even with brands, just because of the way that the characters find a way to connect with audience members. Yeah.
What has surprised you the most about the reaction, specifically to a character like Bob O'Connor, who's this American from a completely different background? What surprised you the most about the connection and the popularity amongst the local audience?
To be honest, the very fact that it caught on the way that it did was a surprise in itself, because in a weird way, like I talk to myself in a lot of weird like voices just when I'm alone. So, but in my mind, I thought, oh, no man, this is too left field. This is too weird. Like, you know, I need to kind of stay. I didn't think he would be like that relatable, but I suppose it's because of the specific things that he speaks to that's what people end up kind of connecting with. And he's a quirky like outsider. So yeah, it's been quite surreal.
Well, I'm going to leave it there. The latest video posted by Tyson yesterday involves Bob O'Connor talking about a power box, and that's been quite entertaining as well. So there's already a new one out. Thank you so much. Tyson Ngubeni, up and coming, some would say already arrived, a comedian, live for us there via Skype from Soweto.